a quiz app in Python for beginners. This is a sample of that. Imagine you shooting random questions at the user and the user enters the answer. Based on the answers, you score the user certain marks. This is how we create and build a quiz app in Python. More details in the code. See you in the code. Hey, welcome back to edtech by Meera, and today I hope my voice is sounding much better. Just recovered from my flu. So today we are going to teach you how to create, or rather build, a quiz app in Python. Yes, a quiz app, a very simplified version of the quiz app for beginners in Python. So first and foremost, we import random. We will see why we are importing the random. So, okay. Then we create a dictionary. You already know how a dictionary looks like. We've done it earlier in Python. So we create a dictionary to store our questions and answers that are used for this quiz game that we are preparing. So start with that, questions. So the variable questions will depict this dictionary equals, okay. So you have like two keys. One is the questions with the body of the question, and then the answer with the body of the answer. So each dictionary will be carrying the key for question and answer, and the respective value for the question and the answer. So this one is a simplified version. Later, for all these projects, I'll be doing the advanced or the intermediate versions also for the same projects, so that you know how to grow from the basic level to the next level. But for now, this should be good to go for beginners level. So the first key, question. So with question as a key, you have to have a body of the question or the value of the question. So now here I'm just using some very simple text for the question and answers. But you can make it more interesting by making it code related. Here I'm just doing something very silly, like what's the capital of this and that, just as an example base. So what's the capital of France? Now don't tell me you don't know the answer as a coding student. So I make a question key and then the value. And remember, they are all stringed. You have to store that as a string in your dictionary. Do not forget that. So answer, Paris, comma, followed by the next set of question, answer. So inside the dictionary, they are stored as a tuple with a pair, everyone having a pair of question and answer. So question whatever so-and-so, answer so-and-so, question so-and-so, answer so-and-so, all stringed, and followed by commas in between each pair and each set of pairs. I'm just using 3 or 4 question answers only, because this is just for an example's sake. As I said earlier, sorry, I made some mistake in the formatting, so I'm just redoing it. So as a string, question is a key here, then the value also as a stringed. What is the value of the question, or the text of the question, or the body of the question, whatever you call it? What is the capital of France? I mean, this is my question text or question body. You could have anything else, comma, then you need an answer also, right? So again, answer value will be stringed, answer. Okay, ideally it has to be comma, answer, but you can also type the question first followed by the answer. That's up to you. But in every set, remember, there should be a question and an answer. So I'm first typing out the respective questions first, then I will include the answer pair to each question. So that's up to you how you want to do it. So the next question is, what is the capital of India? I hope you know it. comma. The third question, I'm just using 3 questions here for example's sake. Next question, I'm going to ask what is the capital of Malaysia. So Paris, where I love to be. India, where I was born. Malaysia, where I'm living. So I thought of these 3 questions accordingly. So you can see very clearly, dictionary, how the dictionary, this is how a dictionary looks like. We've done several projects with dictionaries, so you don't want me to tell you how a dictionary looks like. If you have a doubt, you can look at the earlier projects in my Python project playlist, which explains how a dictionary should look. But this is how ideally it should look, with the key value pairs. And I'll be doing more such beginner projects in Python, and later on I'll be making it more complicated to reach the intermediate and advanced stage. And as we go along, you will learn more of Python. So I thought it's easier to build from the beginning and then make it more complicated rather than do complicated right from the beginning. And this is for those who've never done Python much before, for total absolute beginners. So that's the reason I'm keeping it very simplified and simple and project based, so that you can understand from the projects how certain concepts, key concepts are used. Like for example, how you use dictionary, you get to learn here. Why you import random, you get to know here, and you've got to know earlier also from the earlier projects. So I'll be including the link to my Python project and Python course playlist here. Do remember to go through it, browse through it. And if you want to grow from a total beginner in Python to the intermediate level, to the next level rather, and then later to advanced level, but first from the beginner to the advanced, you should take steps accordingly. You may click that subscribe button, smash the subscribe button and the bell button, so that all my projects go straight into your inbox without the need for you to look for it every week. Okay, sorry, my browser got stuck here and I still miss using my Replit. I lost my Replit because of my over storage. So now I'm using another one, another IDE. So what's the capital of Malaysia? As I mentioned earlier, you know already the answer, but still you can play the quiz. So now I'm writing the value pairs for the answer. So first was the question key. Now I'm writing the answer key here and the value for the answer key. So first the question, comma, question, then the value, then answer, then the value. All should be stringed. First France is Paris, then again inside the same. So inside each dictionary you have like a tuple, pair value couple. Okay, so India, answer is Delhi. Then you have for Malaysia, of course it is Kuala Lumpur, in case you do not know the answer. But remember this, the coder is doing it. The user doesn't know the answer. We, as the developer, the builder of the app, know the answer. Yeah? But the user doesn't know. So this game is for the user, the quiz. So we are building the quiz app so that when the user runs it, he will be asked the questions, the quiz questions, and he needs to answer. And based on his answer, he will be scored. So that's the idea of the game. So this game is all about that. And through this game, you can actually learn the key concepts. Okay, so we did the dictionary here. Then now what are we going to do? Now we are going to do random.shuffle the questions so that the order is mixed up. So it becomes a bit more challenging for the user. So it's not always like answer 1, answer 2, answer 3. User cannot, like someone else has already played, knows, okay, this is the correct answer to question 1, 2, 3. Second user cannot guess. So in order to make it a bit more challenging, we do the shuffling of the questions. Random.shuffle questions. So it's all jumbled up. Now here, of course, there are only 3 questions, so it's not very complicated, but when there are like 20 or more, then it becomes more complicated. Then score is 0. The initial value, we put it as score as 0 because no one has started playing the game. Then we use a for loop in which the for loop will actually go through each and every question in order to get the answers. It will go through each and every question inside the question data bank. So that's why we create the for loop. So for question is singular, mind you, for question in questions. So the data bank is with all the questions is questions. So for question, for a single question in questions, what you need to do, print questions. Why? For asking the question to the user, we have to print something, right? You need a question to answer, right, to play the quiz. So print question, and then here you will find in the square brace, it is question and then stringed question. So that means a specific question. That's why we say question and then the square braces and question. So the specific question will be asked. So print that. Then you need an answer. So the user answer, I create a variable called user answer or user ans, whatever you call it, is input because that is user generated. So using the inbuilt function input, enter your answer, or input answer, whatever you want to say. So user answer is user generated using the input function. So first the question is asked by the computer, then the user will give the answer, and now you need to verify if the answer is correct or not. So you need a condition, right? So for that, inside the for loop, where it is looping inside each question, we will use the if condition. So if the user's answer equal to the question's answer, I mean, I'm just using it in a statement. So you imagine like this in your head, if what the answer the user is giving is equal to the answer that has been formatted for the question, or rather the answer to the question, if you say it in a sentence. So in a variable we say if user answer equal question answer, yeah, if that's the condition, then obviously it's a correct answer, right? Because question answer is a correct answer, which we've already mentioned above. Print because for each question there's an answer. So that answer that we write for the question should be the correct answer. So if user answer, that means the answer provided by the user entered is equal to the answer that is provided in the question. So if user answer equals to the answer to the question, so we show it in the way shown here, the answer string inside the square bracket, print correct answer, and the score will be incremented by 1, right? So score counter will be score plus equal to 1, which is score equal to score plus 1 every time. Every time it can be 1, it can be 10, that's up to you, but I'm incrementing by 1. Else, if the user answer is not equal to the answer to the question, else print wrong, and the correct answer is so and so. So what is going to be the correct answer? Obviously the answer to the question, which is shown above, question answer. Question was a key, remember, in our dictionary, and answer that was written, the specific answer that was written to specific questions. So here when you produce it as the actual answer, you have to show it as a string inside the square braces, which would mean that is a specific answer to the specific question. So that should be the correct answer. So your score. So you know how to you know how to loop through all the questions. You know how to ask the question. You know how to get the answer. You know how to run the score counter. Then you know the condition for checking if the answer is correct or not, and the response for saying like what is the right answer, what is the right answer, and if this is right or wrong. Yeah. So this is what we've been doing all throughout, right? And then you can print it as a string format. Something went wrong here, so I'm just redoing it. You can do it as a formatted string, which is what we do most of the time. F shows the formatted string, and the curly brace is obviously like when you're writing the value. Whenever you want to write, substitute the value of the variable or the key, you use the curly braces. Like here, let's see how it's done. You can also just write the print statement with the statement followed by comma followed by the variable name. There are different ways of printing it, which we've already done several times in our earlier projects. So I'm just redoing it, the statement of if it is not the correct answer, what else is to be printed out, sorry. So print, the print statement, wrong. And now that's up to you whether you want to write the right answer or the wrong answer, or just say leave it at the answer is wrong. That's up to you. But here we are just writing the right answer so that you get to learn how to write the value of the right answer here. Question and the answer is the answer, which means the answer to that question. It means that in the literal sense. Missed out on the F for the format, so that's why I'm just typing the F again. F stands for formatted string, because print statements are supposed to be mostly strings, and it's better if we can write it as a formatted string so the output is more definable. So there you go. That's done. Then after you come out of the loop, you need to print out something else. Like for example, you need to, like, let's say you want to continue the quiz. So you can say click or press enter to continue. Like you don't want to stop, you want to keep on continuing. You can say click enter to continue so that the quiz will continue. But that's again optional. Sometimes you may get confused, so you may just do it as an optional thing and test it out. So we've already come out of the printing part. Now we are inside the if loop. We are still under the if loop. I mean, we are not inside the if loop, we are outside the if loop. We just finished the if loop and we just exited the if loop. So then here, print your final score. So the last thing that you need is a final score, right? Because you've completed your loop, you've completed your if condition. So come out of exit the loop and then you need to print out your score. So format your final score is, again within curly braces score, will substitute the value, the actual value of the score. Because every time, remember, you give the right answer, you're scored by 1. Your score is incremented by 1. So you write your final score. You can either write your final score as just scored, which means it will give you a value of 4, 5, 10, whatever. But if you say divided by the length of the questions, so then it will give you the score out of so and so score total. So that means like length of questions, the length of question, meaning like let's say there are 10 questions, so the length of question will be 10. So let's say your final score is 2, so that means 2 out of 10. If your final score is 10, then 10 out of 10. So you'll get a better idea of how many answers you got right. But that's again up to you, personal choice. You can just write your score and not do length of questions, but this is just being done to beautify it and just for your own understanding of how to do it in case you want to do it this way. So that also the length of questions will also go inside the curly braces. Okay, so let's test it out. Oh, there's a bit of a problem in the syntax, so I just double check. Yeah, I think now okay. Let's test it. Okay, what's the capital of India? Answer, Delhi. Correct. Click enter to continue. Now that's up to you, as I said. Enter. What is the capital of Malaysia? Kuala Lumpur. I entered, I didn't answer, so I got the score wrong. You have to answer every time, otherwise, instead of answering, I just clicked enter. So here I got 2 out of 3. Aha. So I'm going to remove that click enter to continue kind of stuff because it's a bit misleading. So I'll just remove that from the code and then I'm done. Okay. What is the capital of Paris? Of France, Paris. So here, every time it will give you the score. So 1 answer correct, 1 out of 3. Next question, answered, okay, correct. So 2 out of 3, so like that. Every time you answer, you'll be scored. So next line, Kuala Lumpur, correct. It will give you 3 out of 3. There you go, correct. So final score, 3 out of 3. Click enter to continue. If you continue, you can keep on playing, like no need to pause. So that was the idea. So here I tried without doing the continue part. It's the same thing, nothing fancy, just kind of experimenting. Okay, So here it just keeps on and keeps on asking questions. There's no continue because I removed the print statement for the continue. So that's up to you again. It's there, you can just use it or not use it, that's up to you. How you want to format the output. There you go, this will be all in one shot. Last, okay. So if you really want to join the Python learning journey with me, smash the subscribe button. I will take you on a very short, easy, stress-free learning journey for Python. Because I want to experiment different steps, so I just tried to do it again without the enter key, so now it's okay. Last time I forgot to hide it. Oh, okay, now it's done. There you go. So it will just give you one after the other the question and the answer. There you go. So you're done. I'm done. I want you to try it out as I'm doing the code. I also want you to do it by yourself, one after the other. Do not copy paste. I'm sorry. Keep on writing it down, write it down, and keep doing this. Go understand what you're doing. Then you should be able to use this template for so many other apps as well. That's the idea. Then you will never forget. Try to understand why you're using the for loop, the if condition. Yeah, that's the main thing. And also the random, why did we shuffle the questions? The random, because we want to get random question every time. You can see it's different. So the randomly it's asked, not like 1, 2, 3. That was the idea. And then we shuffle it also so that the order also keeps changing. It's never the same format, but that's again up to you. No need to use random if you don't want. No need to use shuffle if you don't want. I just made it a bit more fun. And then I did a score counter as well. So I hope you understood this. Very simple, pretty simplified version. See you in the next, and see you as a subscriber next. Don't forget to smash if you want to have the learning journey full in your inbox. See you next.